We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are thrilled you guys are here. We've got an awesome show. We are going to be talking, Rick, with Tyson Rementer. I think I said that right. We'll ask him when we get him on. But he is a great course builder. So let's go check in with our sponsors here. Check in with Horse Trailer Pros, and we'll be right back.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here in the studio, in the Horse Trailer Pro studio. We've got an awesome show for you guys, as always. And today we're going to have the course builder from the Maryland 5-star, where Felix Vogue won, Rick. It was a pretty great competition up there. I watched the whole thing from the comfort of my couch, which was great. And you
watched the whole thing from Europe.
Yeah. Did you guys actually watch the whole thing?
We did. We watched it in real time as much as we could. And yeah, it was super. You know, it was a really great go. I know a lot of people were concerned about just having 23 horses, but I think they were brilliant. And the 3 long was really well as well.
Yeah. So how'd the timing work out for you guys? I guess that would be like afternoon. So were you able to like schedule around looking at horses?
We were 5 hours ahead. Yeah, 5 hours ahead in England. And it's all a blur. But we were in Germany after it was over, so we were able to kind of keep up and see what was going on. Because it was in the evening for us, so
right.
It wasn't hard to. It wasn't like waking up at 4 a.m. and having to watch it in Europe. So we were the other way around.
Yeah, we're very accommodating with our competitions, unlike the Europeans are not as accommodating with their competitions. They are pretty rude and get them started at like 3 a.m. our time and maybe get up early. So
I don't think it has anything other than to do than production and the FEI schedule. So boo on you.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with time zones or the way that the world works, because we all know the Earth is flat anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Isn't that the truth? It felt flat.
So for those who don't maybe know, you, Rick, have been jet setting. You got home late. Poor Rick is still on German time right now.
Yeah, we did 3 countries. We did England, Ireland, and Germany, and we did that in a week. And we did 3 rental cars, 2 trains, Uber, 3 taxis, 5 hotel rooms, 7 flights. It was an adventure. It was me, Elisa, and Briggs. And Elisa is really good at laying out, finding horses, and we did.
Right.
So, it was a successful trip.
Wow. I mean, how much fun and how cool to get to go with Elisa and Briggs and do that. So that's pretty awesome.
I can't say it didn't go without any I don't know, yelling and screaming and laughing and clawing and crying, crying. It happens when you're in the back roads of Ireland and you're on the side of a cliff with a car coming at you and you can't.
Yeah. And then Elisa and Briggs got upset too.
Yes. All together.
Yeah. Okay. So what were your thoughts on Maryland in general? Like, I thought when I watched cross country, I initially watched the first bit and I thought like, oh my God, is anybody going to be able to get this done? Like it didn't start out smoothly. And I thought this could be like a pretty rough day with nobody getting home clear, much less, or getting home, much less getting home clear. Like it was a little bit of a tough start to that, I thought.
Yeah, and it's interesting because do you remember who was first on course? Can't even
Uh,
remember.
I do now watching.
But yes, I think sometimes what happens to us is the first one out on course smokes smokes around, and we're all like, "Oh, it's so easy, it's not." And then all of a sudden, it gets where it builds up to have troubles and issues, and then it levels out, and then it goes back to people making it around and doing a great job. But in watching it, I was in the same boat you were, but at the same time, I think Pierre did a really good job um, asking the questions and doing it in a way that horses understood. At least that was my thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, it was I mean, obviously the one thing that I think everybody took away from that, just thinking about the horses. Well, first of all, thinking about Pierre's course, I think it would be a difficult task to design a 5-star, and then to design a 5-star for a small field, I think would be really difficult because, I mean, if you have a field, what do they have? 21 horses?
Yeah, 23.
23 horses.
So
So
22 started, but
okay.
something like that.
So you have a field of 22, you get a handful of those horses just not having a good day. And suddenly your statistics on that can look bad. And the reality is the FEI does look at statistics. So, if you have a certain percentage of clears or a certain percentage of horses not getting around, the FEI, they can be critical of designers for that. And so it'd be tricky to get that balance right. And I'm sure Pierre would tell you, I don't know him personally, but I would imagine any course designer would tell you, you just design the track the way it's supposed to be designed and don't worry about that. But it'd be hard not to be in the back of your head when you're thinking about you're at a place with a smaller field. Do you want to soften things up or not?
Yeah, that's a hard call, but I think his percentages worked out to basically what all the other 5-stars have been doing. In fact, it might have fared a little bit better. Yeah. And then the time was achievable. So, you had the right horse condition and doing the right thing and going the right ways. And even I think, I don't know if I'm right on this. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that one was a long route, but they still made time. But I might be getting Morbin mixed up with Maryland. So anyway.
Well, I think Monica, I know at the Coffin, she didn't go long there, I don't think, but she hung out after the mound, went way out, and then came back into the D element.
Right.
I think it was numbered as D. I'm not sure about the other two.
Well, let's talk about, you mentioned Monica and
oh my God. Was that incredible?
Well, first off, it started with dressage. So I was able to watch that live and so impressed with that thoroughbred from New Zealand. Just incredible tests. It was flawless, and it was a 23. And I was like, she deserves that. She's worked really hard. And what a physical horse as a thoroughbred that just makes up everything that you believe they should be, right? And then going on to cross country, I was breathless. I was just sitting there with my mouth open.
Yeah, it was just a whole different level. That horse went out, and I mean, I watched it galloping into and out of the arena, and at that point, that early on, I was like, well, this is going to be a cakewalk. Unless something just fluky, weird happens, this horse is going to make time easy. He just skims across the ground. He just floated out there. It was incredible.
Yeah, and I know a lot of, I think the ring, the arena jumps created some issues. People went the long way there. And in fact, just looking at it when I was watching, the long way, or not the way prescribed that was going to be happening, they would cut inside the owl hole and go to the other. Really wasn't that much longer to do that.
No, I think a lot of people did that, and the arena, as I recall, rode really actually pretty well. I wouldn't say it was easy. It didn't look easy, but everybody seemed to be able to get through there for the most part.
Figured it out.
yeah, everybody had their plan. And I agree. I think the long route didn't take much more time, if any at all. And the thing is, it shot you out towards the way you needed to go. You didn't have to turn. So it was a smart place to go long if they had to. And, that first big, well, it was the second water, but the first big water, was so much more like, again, it's a 5-star, so take it with a grain of salt, but it was so much more straightforward than in years past, I thought. So that was kind of nice.
I just saw a couple horses at that one. Mary Beth Davis and Will Fodry's horses kind of like they're good jumpers, right?
Yeah.
And both of them got tossed forward in that first water pretty hard. I think Mary Beth called up and said, "I got a black eye."
Right.
But and unfortunately, neither one of those finished.
Poor Will. Oh
yeah.
I mean, poor Mary Bess, obviously, but poor Will at that Oxer right there at the end. The horse misread it and jumped into it, and I saw Will put out a big post like, "Thank God for frangibles," because they were able to walk away, and just one of those things. But well,
I hear you. And Mary Bess, just so everybody knows, horse was really exuberant jumper, and it was jumping super great and well over the jumps. And so after a while, he started to flatten out and come in there. And while a 20 popped up on her scoreboard when she was going, the horse had stumbled before I forgot what combination she was going to, but he had stumbled a couple times, but she almost fell off. She pulled up and then went and presented. So they took the 20 off.
Right.
But she didn't know. She thought, did they give me a 20? Did they not give me a 20? She didn't know what they did. And she felt at that point, since he tripped a couple times, that she was just going to pull up and wait for another day. Because he was over jumping a lot.
He was. He was jumping huge.
And so the 20 was taken away, but she still felt she made the right decision, because just such an exuberant jumper. And, I think as he progressed through there, I think she needed him to calm it down. And so she made the right decision. The horse is cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great horse. But yeah, he was just jumping so big and hanging in the air for sure. The other one that I thought was super impressive was Jenny Brannigan.
Oh, my God. Yes.
I mean,
Adios mio is what I'm going to say.
Like, I'm going to be honest. I watched her leave the box and I thought, man, this is going to be a lot of work for Jenny to do. She's just had, for no other reason than just the lead up that she had, right? Like, she had a tough go in the start box at Morven and got a horse fell on her and
hurt her ankle or knee,
leg. She's just been beat up. And
I agree with you. Lisa Briggs and I were watching. And so I love Jenny, you're a brilliant rider. You're really great. And you're really cool. But the one thing I think that whatever happened to her leg, she had a little bit longer leg. She sat so still.
Yes.
That it was like flawless.
Yes.
So not that she didn't sit still before, but she just Jenny Brannigan pump sometimes.
Yep.
She sat still the whole time. That horse was brilliant.
Well, don't you think sometimes when that stuff happens to people, like the exceptional athletes like Jenny, when things go wrong, it gives them a little extra focus, it gives them a little extra something. And that's what I saw in her riding was, like you said, she's always a great rider, but knowing that the deck was stacked against her a little bit, some people fold, but she's one of those people, she just like doubles down and just hyper focused. And she did it from the start, because she didn't run the second horse. She this is the one I need to focus on. This is my job. I am not going to mess this up. And she just,
I think the Gardners are super. Tim and Nina Gardner are super owners for her. The horse has been with them for a long time. I know it was injured going to badminton, or was it Burley? It got a really serious injury, 10 minutes from arriving.
Yeah.
And she had pictures of it. So it recovered from that. Jenny recovered from having a horse fall on her the week before, and they put in a brilliant ride.
Yeah. So well done, Jenny. Well done, Caroline.
Caroline Martin had 2 of the 3 finish.
Pamuchku. You taught me how to say it.
Yeah. Pamuchku had 3. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why the mare saw the line she saw at the ditch and wall. It was just so unfortunate.
I think she couldn't turn well. I think she was struggling
it
turning.
just didn't make the turn. The mare would jump anything, and it tried, but unfortunately that happened. But she got back up, and everything was good, and the horses were fine. And then the Blake horse just looked brilliant in his first 5-star, so good for her.
Yep. And then the last one, before we talk about the big winner, I will say that I thought was, as always, an Ironman. So Boyd goes through the coffin, and I don't remember which horse it was, and it doesn't matter. It stops, and he falls off, and he fell. I don't know if you watched it.
I did.
From the top of that hill. I mean, he had to have fallen 9 feet conservatively and landed like a ton of bricks. And I just thought, there's no way he's getting up. Like, that is a broken man after that kind of a fall. And he popped up, got his horse, walked off, came back out. And then, honestly, I love Commando, but he didn't look like he came out of the box like ready to attack. Boyd had to work hard to keep that one going the way it wanted to go. And I thought he did a brilliant job, in my opinion, of getting that horse to stay focused. It's a great horse, but he just looked to me like he needed Boyd there to say, no, you still got this. You still got this. And Boyd just rode that line perfectly. And it was to me a great example of encouraging a horse around cross country and keeping it happy and positive in its job.
I agree with you. And of course, he won on a mixed Master C the weekend before with the U.S. Open Equestrian Eventing Finals. So he had quite a week. And shout out to Liz Halliday with that mixed Master C winning that U.S. final. And we all send our thoughts to Liz. I saw her on a horse and doing some stuff, so that's good.
She's looking good.
Yeah,
we're always thinking of Liz. So,
and talking real quick back to the frangible with Will Fodry, you have a big fundraiser going. I've been trying to share everything. Where are we on that? Let's get people on here to really push this.
As of this recording, I'm going to pull it up here so I get the number right, because I don't want to mess that up. Hold on. Bear with me, because I've got a bunch of text messages here. I got to scroll through and find it. Right now, today, so we have the $250,000 from Manton that we have to match. We are at $219,000 in matching funds.
Wow.
Which is amazing, but I'm an idiot and decided that I'd run 10 miles for every 50 miles. So November 3rd, I have to go do the first run, and you're going to be there with me.
I will see it, and I have an electric bike. And
okay.
I'll go with you.
You can come with. Let's go. You can e-bike it.
Who will run with you?
Who?
Briggs.
Let's do it. And I don't. Now look, just to be totally clear, I do not intend to go fast.
Okay.
I'm just going to go for a jog. I think I have this theory.
I'll run with you.
I have this theory that everybody can run. It's just how fast do you want to run?
Right.
We're going to go to Santos Park on November 3rd, which is the Monday after Rocking Horse. And I'm not sure on the time, but I want to do it somewhat early-ish in the day if I can.
Yeah.
And we're just, apparently it's all marked out. So we're going to run out 5 miles. We're going to turn around. We're going to run back 5 miles.
Heard.
Well, from a runner. Like Kyle Carter told me that's how it works. So.
Okay, that's good. But I just said heard.
Heard what?
That's the saying that chefs say when they're all in the kitchen cooking.
Okay. Got it.
I'm saying chef heard.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Got it?
That's the plan. There. So I'll confirm time as we get a little closer. We're not that far away. We're only like a week and a bit. Better go get some.
Briggs will love it. Briggs will be, going for it.
Awesome. All right. So then we need to just give Felix a big shout out. He obviously is incredible. He did base himself here in North America for a little bit. So I feel like, we got a little bit of a tie to old Felix there. And I did hear he's shaved his head. He made a bet with somebody that he would shave his head if he won, and he won. So I guess there's a video out there somewhere of him having a good time holding an adult beverage, having his head shaved. And
let's give a shout out to that mare that he has.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Cartania? Is that how you say it?
What an amazing animal that is.
Yes. A 28 on the flat, double clear on the cross country, just smoked it. And then just 0.4 in the show jumping. Like, that was a flawless weekend, quite honestly.
Right.
And power to the thoroughbreds, huh? 3 horses made time. All 3 were thoroughbreds. So rah thoroughbred. I was thinking something. Tell me what you think. I mentioned this to a thoroughbred friend. Not to get off of Felix, because Felix, congratulations, well deserved, and I hope we get to have you on the podcast here soon. I know you're well sought after, and I saw you're going to be on one if you're not already. So, but we definitely want to get Felix on. But on to thoroughbreds. So, made me think, because we just bought a young horse, and he's registered as a Holsteiner, but he is 86% thoroughbred.
Right.
And the Holsteiners are quite happy to say that he is Holsteiner, even though he's 86% thoroughbred.
Yeah.
So I think, and I have no say or pull or anything, the thoroughbred people need to start some sort of a thoroughbred sport horse breed so that they can claim these horses that are bred with that much thoroughbred in them. And I don't know what the percentage of thoroughbred would be, but if
that's a good idea,
if the European and North American sport horse breeders and warm blood breeders can claim these horses as being their horses when they have that much thoroughbred in them, which I'm more power to them, they should, then there should be a thoroughbred sport horse that, okay, it's not a purebred thoroughbred to go race, but why not claim that those horses?
Because none of the other ones are purebred, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if it's over 50% thoroughbred, why can't you call it a thoroughbred?
Agreed. Heard.
We'll see what Lucinda's thoughts are on that when we see her next. I just was thinking about it.
And what I do, I love the thoroughbred, and it's bred to do what it needs to do and everything. And I think Monica knew the hole for the artist, right?
Yeah.
Is show jump.
Yeah.
On the third day. I mean, they always are still in that jumping flat cross country mode, right? So it's always Johnny Simply Priceless was like that. And, I think if they had a little mixture, 86, percent with the Holsteiner, you're going to get that jump out of them. When did you get that one?
Oh, we just bought it.
Oh, when?
Like a month ago. It's going to sit in the field for a while.
How old is it?
It's 2.
Oh, gotcha.
Baby.
Good for you. At least it's got 2 now. So there you go. They passed that today.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yep.
Exciting. It's exciting. Okay. Well, look, I think you are exhausted. You look terrible.
I'm tired.
I mean, honestly, you look horrible right now.
Thanks. Appreciate
You're welcome. Yeah. I'm hoping that Joel can just keep the camera on me this whole segment.
Just buzz me out.
No, you look great. Thank you for staying awake for this. And we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
And then Tyson is going to get on, and we're going to have.
Let me tell you. Sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine.
But Tyson is fun to listen to because I watch him when he does stuff for Maryland, and he is full of energy. You're not going to have to do anything.
I know. I'm so excited to just sit there and let him talk. Did you hear? I heard. I'm going to introduce him as Tyson, who I've heard has crabs because of the crab. Because of the crab water.
You're a little bit crabby there, Tyson.
Yeah, why are you so
crabby? Tyson, I said hello, and thanks everybody out there. Listen to this great interview. He's a great builder and does great things with crabs.
He does. All right, so let's take a break. Let's check in with our sponsors really briefly. Don't go anywhere, guys. We are going to be right back for the Equibrew segment.
Boom.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
If you're in the horse world, you need to have a good lawyer. Whatever the size of your business, having the best legal support is paramount. Rick and I use our friend and attorney, Yvonne Okrant. She's a partner at Hinshaw & Culberson LLP, which is a national law firm with over 450 attorneys. She's been at this for over 24 years and is licensed in Illinois, Florida, and Wisconsin. Yvonne can help you with contracts for horse purchases, sales and leases, as well as equine activity liability, releases, and training and boarding contracts for individuals and entities. If you need help with a syndicate, she's done over 350 contracts and operating agreements for sport horses in all 3 disciplines. Whatever your legal need is, Yvonne can assist you. Call her at 312-704-3080 or email at yokrant@hinshawlaw.com. So we just told you all about Yvonne Okrant and wanted to just remind you guys to give her a call if you have any legal needs involving anything in the equine industry. Make sure you use the promo code HORSELAW. That's going to get you a free initial consultation. Again, remember that promo code HORSELAW. You're going to love Yvonne.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros, and we are in the Equibrew segment. We are here with Tyson Rementer, and Tyson, I'm sure you know all about Equibrew. It is an awesome awesome live probiotic for your horses. It helps them with their gut health, and we love it. You just go to brickfieldnutrition.com or equibrewusa.com. I don't know. Rick's not here. He usually tells me that, but go check them out. It's really good stuff. All my horses are on it. You would love it, Tyson. They do stuff for people too. It's really good.
I'm a big kombucha guy, so yeah, it sounds right at my alley.
It's basically like kombucha for horses. It's amazing stuff.
Right on.
And I started taking it. They make a people one. I started taking it for me too. That should be here soon. And I know you course builders have this, difficult lifestyle where you're on the road a lot. I mean, you don't always get to eat the way you want. It probably would help you a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Makes up for all those stops at Buc-ee's.
Exactly. So listen, man, I really appreciate you coming on. Maryland just finished, and I know you're just like full throttle trying to clean that place up at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just brought in the very last fence to my yard. So I have all of the stringing pegs are up, all of the string is thrown away, all of the brush has been discarded, all of the fences are off course, most of the takeoff and landings are raked, all the post holes are filled. It's like we were never here.
Wow. And so is Levy there with you still?
He's not. He left 2 days ago. I had a few guys stay on through today. John Wells just left. We have another show at the Virginia Horse Center coming up. And so
right.
John Wells is headed down there. He designs the lower levels. We'll be meeting with Jay Hambley, who designs the upper level courses, and Levy will meet me there, and we'll get the build done and knock that one off the list. That's the best event of the year because it's the very last one. So I look forward to it every year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm not sure people appreciate the lifestyle that you guys have. Like it is, I know it a bit because I'm good friends with Jay, obviously, and I see him. And actually, funny enough, my son Caden went up and helped at Bromont a little bit this summer.
Oh, right on.
For the August event. So I know a little bit about it, but it's, I mean, it is a tough job, right? Like you guys leave home and you set up shop wherever these events are.
Yep. I'm on the road more than 300 days a year. And that's it's pretty tough. I like to say, like, when I was 20, it was great. It was, a great way to travel around. It's a fun job. It's a great group of guys. I mean, the course builders, for the most part, are a fun group. We spent more time laughing the last 2 weeks, than we did working. Like, it is a really decent group of guys. We just have a great time together. And, but yeah, when I was 20, 25 years old, you travel around. 200 girls in tight pants come to your work on the weekends. It's not a bad perk. But now I'm 45 years old. I'm married. I have 4 kids. All I want to do is be at home. And unfortunately, I didn't set my life up that way. But yeah, it's the only life I've ever known. I always tell people I've never even had another job. I've been a course builder my entire adult life, so I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, and possibly your wife wouldn't love you being home all that time. She might appreciate that you're gone 300 days a year.
They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what I keep telling her anyway. But yeah, we met on the road. She was working at the Fork when we first met, and I was a traveling course builder then. And so, like I said, we've never known it any different. We moved to Winston-Salem in North Carolina so she could be closer to her mother and her sister, so she has a little more help with the kids while I'm on the road all the time. And yeah, I'm just another one of the kids when I get home anyway. So
right, yeah, it's the same here. It's the same here. I get that. So you kind of touched on it. You've been doing this for a long time, but you competed quite successfully when you were younger, right? And I think didn't you like ride with Bruce a bit and like you did the whole thing?
Yeah, I tried anyway. Yeah, I was much better at building the jumps and jumping over them. So yeah, the course building took over pretty quickly. But I was a horse obsessed kid from day one. None of my other siblings got it. They never got the bug. My mom and my dad, they had horses. They brought horses back with them from Colorado in the 1970s. They moved east, and they had Appaloosas. And I grew up in southern New Jersey in Cape May, which is the southernmost point of New Jersey. It's a little Victorian beach town down there. Not exactly known for their equestrian prowess, but we roped cows and team penned and barrel raced and pole bended and did all those Western sports and had a great time. Just enjoyed horses all through my childhood. I drove the carriages for the Cape May Carriage Company. Anything I could do to be around horses, that was my mission. And when we were also a big wrestling family, believe it or not. It's two sort of strange things, but all my brothers wrestled. My dad wrestled.
I wrestled.
Hey, right on, man. So yeah, all I have to show for it is some cauliflower here.
Yeah, but, I quit just as I got into high school because of the horses, but I loved wrestling. It was a fun sport.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it was great. So I found Delaware Valley College. They had a Division II wrestling team, and they had an equine science program. So that's where I met a woman named Jane Corey, who ran an event in Pennsylvania called Pleasant Hollow Farms, and it was like they boarded 50 horses. They taught lessons. They had a handicap riding program. We did the indoor winter hunter jumper shows. They had summer camps there. It was great. You could just be around horses all day long. And so I dropped out of college pretty quickly to spend all of my time over at Jane's place. And Jane was good friends with Bruce Davidson. That's where that connection was made. But that was really formative in my eventing years. She would let me, as a sort of a poor kid of college age, she would let me work to pay off my lessons and my entry fees and things. And so I would help her brother John build the jumps. And yeah, it was great. So a lot of people came through that program too. Caroline Martin was a summer camper there. I rode, her mother kept her horse Brimley. I remember her mother's horse's name was Brimley. And we would that's where I met her. Caroline was probably in Sherry's arms back then. This is like in the late 90s, right?
Right.
Marley Stone, who's she's a upper level event rider herself.
Yep.
She was also a summer camper there. She and her sister Anna stayed with me for a summer while I worked there. So yeah, it was really like you could be completely inundated in horses there. It was a great group of people. I forged friendships that I still have to this day. Jane Corey's she holds a special place in my heart because she really fostered that whole love of eventing. And that's where I met Virginia. She was then Virginia Jenkins. She was dating a guy named Morgan Roselle, and she said, "Hey, you should go help my boyfriend build some jumps." And that's where I met Morgan Roselle, and he took me to Radnor. That was my first big event. I went.
So you did Radnor.
Yeah. I went to help him. That was the first time I had seen like a big show. There was 4 or 5 course builders there, the tents, the parties, the big atmosphere.
Yeah.
I met Mike Etherington Smith was a course designer, and that was it. It was no turning back from there. I was course building full time.
That's awesome. Yeah, Radnor. It's funny. Like, so we run a program here, obviously, and have students and working students, and I occasionally tell them about the good old days when things were right. And one of the events I always tell them about was Radnor. I'm like, it was such a great event. Yeah. What was great about it? Well, the cross country was amazing. What else? Well, they had omelets.
Yeah. The omelets.
They had omelets, and it was cold, and it rained, and there was no running water. You had a a trailer that they would ship between Radnor and Fair Hill filled with water.
Yeah,
And it had 732 spigots out of it, but nothing to pressurize it. So
that's
if you
right.
wanted water, you had to make sure you got there when nobody else was there, because once everybody opened all the taps, you were going to be there for 45 minutes to fill one bucket.
Yeah. And it was great.
It was awesome. It was amazing. It was a great event. I loved it.
It ran on like 7 different property owners' properties. Like, I mean, it was impossible. And it was great. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah. And I never did well there. It's not like I love it because it went well for me. I was stopping at the water. I remember probably my fondest Radnor memory actually was when Peter Green, who was a great guy and selector for the team, and sadly is not with us anymore. But Peter, I remember, was riding a horse and was going through the water out back. You had to it was in a pond, and you guys had put there was a lane roped, and his horse jumped through the stringing, and they both had to swim back to shore.
Yeah. It went from 8 inches to like 8 feet deep, and we just had it separated with snow fence there. Yeah, I remember it well. Yeah. It was it was great.
Oh man, it was an awesome event. I loved that event.
Yeah, that was it. That really fostered it for me. And I met a lot of course builders, that was where you bring in a lot of guys for those bigger events, and it's like a hand in a glove. It's like when you meet your people, like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do, and they travel around with a dog and a chainsaw, and it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a lifestyle you guys lead, for sure. So you build, you don't design.
Nope.
No interest in that side of it?
No, the building has really just taken off. I feel like it's, like I'm comfortable with it. There's people that are really very good course designers. And they can do that, and I can do this. And it's really a relationship that works out. I think there's a real market for designer builders at the preliminary level and down. If you can design competently to the preliminary level and do the course construction, you can do 2 birds with 1 stone for a lot of the events. You can fit their budgets, and that's a really great position to be in. And I wouldn't. It's not something that I wouldn't consider doing, but it's just not something that's ever. It's just it didn't fall into place for me. My events, it seems like have more higher levels, and to have multiple course designers. Once you have a high level course designer in there, it's easier just to have them, do the whole thing from the upper levels on down. And I feel really comfortable with the position I have. So,
well, and I think that's something that as riders, people don't always pay attention to, is who the builder is. I firmly believe, and I'm not just saying it because you're here and you're a builder, I firmly believe the builder makes a successful designer. And a poor builder can make a designer not look as good. And so I look for who the designer is, but I also always pay attention to okay, who's building it. And I know, obviously it's an easy thing to say because you build all the big tracks, but I know if you're building a course, it's going to be a great track, because because I know they come out, they set the jumps with you, you guys have that back and forth with the designers, right? But at the end of the day, you're the one out there who's got to put it in place and dress it and get it ready to go, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a million things that go into it. From the budget to the venue to the designer to the time of year. I don't know. There's a million things that go into making an event either successful or not so great. It's not. I don't ever think that it's one thing or the other. There's some designers that you have a great relationship with. I shouldn't even say that. I love working with all the different designers. There's nobody that I've encountered that I say, oh, I would never want to work with them again. That whole community is really great too. So I feel like in the designer building community, everybody seems to be pulling in the same direction. We all share tons of information. There's no, there's no real animosity. It really is a great group. All the designers, all the builders. You could call any one of them anytime, and they would be, happy to help you in any way they can. Everybody's got each other's backs, which I think is pretty great. At least from my point of view. I don't know. Maybe they're all talking smack on me behind my back, but
I doubt it. You're a pretty likable guy. Honestly, I've known you for years, obviously, but when I was watching the Maryland preview stuff and you were out there showing all the fences, I was like, I need Tyson on the podcast. Got to have him on.
I'm one of the extroverts. And there's a lot of introverts in the world of horses. And when they stumble upon the one guy that's like, hey, Tyson's unembarrassable. Let's get him to be a friend.
Totally. It's a great trait to have.
Exactly.
So Tyson, we're going to get into Maryland specifically because that's, I think that was such a beautiful course.
Yeah.
But before we do that, everybody knows Maryland. Everybody knows Kentucky. Everybody knows Virginia. Everybody knows all these big tracks, many of which you build. What is your favorite event that you build for that a lot of people don't know? The one that we don't know, the small event.
Oh, come on, man. It is the one, the only Aspen Farms.
Yeah, but everybody knows Aspen Farm. Come on.
Not if
Okay,
you're from
East
the
Coast
East
made.
Coast.
Okay.
I didn't know Aspen Farms. I only did the East Coast, and I had heard about Aspen Farms. My friend Trav had gotten he was a course builder. He was here this weekend helping in Maryland.
Oh, cool.
He got a civilian job managing a big farm in Virginia for Roxanne Booth, and so he asked me to come and have a walk around at Aspen with Jonathan Elliott. And I'll tell you, man, I knew it was going to be good, but I just wasn't prepared for like what a unique and fantastic experience the whole thing is. It's literally in their backyard. The Elliots are the kindest people I've ever met. John runs the event as if it's Burley, and he'll do it for 4 advanced horses. I mean, it really is. He puts everything he's got into it. He brings out course builders from Montana, from Utah, from Kentucky, from North Carolina. I mean, he pulls out all of the stops. Like I said, again, like in his backyard. It's from the food to the fences. He really just does it to the nines. And yeah, I always say it's the biggest little event in the world. He just does a great job. And I look forward to going out there. Even it's one of those things where it's like, man, I don't want to fly all the way across the country. I got so much stuff going on. I shouldn't be doing this. And then as soon as I get out there, I'm like, oh, thank God I'm out here again. Like this, it's beautiful. The Douglas fir trees, you're staring at this giant volcano. I mean, if you're on the West Coast and you haven't been to Aspen Farms, just get there any way you can. It really is a great experience. John and Susie are wonderful.
Yeah, they are some of our closest friends. And, I will second everything you said. It is a beautiful event. We were there actually for the very first event. It rained the entire time, and it was still amazing. So a couple things just to know about that event. If John tells you the breakfast burritos are spicy, just be careful. Listen to him.
I send we have a whole course building group chat, and every single day I send them pictures of the food at Aspen Farms. I mean, if you're gluten-free or vegan, John's got an option for you at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I was in the little breakfast tent, and I overheard the jump judges talking about, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to Kentucky, and to volunteer and jump judge there. And one of the other girls said, oh, the food here is so much better.
Yeah.
They're not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty exceptional. And the only other thing I'll say about John, which isn't specific to his event, is obviously he's from Seattle. He is a big Seattle guy. He has terrible taste in his sports teams, right?
Yeah, intense.
Fan. Yeah,
intense taste in sports teams. Yeah, I don't think he's ever missed a game.
No, he hasn't. He's got tickets. And to be fair, he has had me out when the Packers have been out there to play, and is a great host. We have an awesome time. We try to travel around and watch our teams whenever they play each other. So great guy. And that's a good call. Aspen Farms. I like it. Well done.
Aspen Farms. No doubt.
Yeah. So listen, let's do this. Let's take a break now because we're a little early on that, but let's take a break now because then I want to get into Maryland and what that is like, sort of doing your job and kind of your thoughts on everything. And have you maybe talk us through a couple of the fences that were there and what your thoughts were when you were putting them together?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to take a break. We're going to check in with our sponsors and we'll be right back with Tyson. Before we do that, thank you again to Equibrew. I'm going to have to get Tyson a bottle of live brew, the people stuff. Rick.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right, we'll be right back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. As promised, I made Tyson stick around. Didn't really have a choice because he's in his car and I had his phone on, and so I made him. So we appreciate that. So Tyson, Maryland, beautiful place. The ground was beautiful. It is, it's interesting. When I remember I was on the sport committee years ago when they were talking about putting the 5-star at Fair Hill, and the one thing that struck me is they said, well, when we do it, we're not going to put the cross country where the cross country has always been. We're going to put it over on the racetrack side. And I'll be honest, I said, so you're telling me that the one great thing about Fair Hill, the cross country, is not going to be part of the cross country when we move this event? And I was skeptical of that other side of the property because I didn't know it, right? Yeah. And I just didn't see how it was all going to fit in there and how it was going to work. And I thought for sure it would be twisty, turny, like a derby course. And it's not. It is open and beautiful and galloping beyond belief, and unbelievably more of a fitness test than the other side where it used to be. It is.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. This park is unbelievably gorgeous. I don't know off the top of my head how many thousands of acres there are. I know there's 90 miles of trails. It goes all the way to Pennsylvania. Every square inch of the park is beautiful. They have massive poplar trees here that are really, if you get down into the woods, they're pretty awe-inspiring. They're massive. You just don't see those big older growth forests on the East Coast like that. It really is beautiful. And I shared the same skepticism. Like I thought the cross country course on the other side of the road, was certainly its strongest asset, and that this would be same thing, just terrible, particularly with the first couple walk arounds that we had with Ian. Like, there were chain link fences in the way. The whole place was enclosed with this super fence, they'd call it. It was big chain link fence and concrete. Yep. There were horrible paddocks. The turf in the timber field was mostly poison ivy. It looked impossible. And the state, the group here, the Sport Corps of Maryland, really did a remarkable job with the fundraising and the transforming this property around the racetrack. The turf management program here is completely off the chain. They do a job on this turf. And because it doesn't share any property really with the lower level courses, a bit through the Sawmill field, but we're all real conscientious of where each other go. But we lay out the track in, we do a rough layout in January, and then again in March, we have it completely dialed in. So when the grass starts growing, it gets all the nutrition, the feeding, the aerating, the mowing that it needs for the year. And since there's so much overlap year to year, it just keeps getting better and better and better. Like, the turf this year was just unbelievable. They did a round of core aerating about a month before the event, and it was just, a beautiful cushion the whole way around, despite the fact that we're still 5 inches below the year-to-date average on rainfall. Like, this is a dry year, but it's a real testament to put a turf management program into plan, stick to your plan, grow those deep roots, and that turf is going to survive and be good and resilient during the droughts and during the rainy months. They hire the Rupert Landscaping Company really oversees all of the turf maintenance. The coolest thing this year was they brought 3 or 4 autonomous robot mowers in. So all year long, these robots are mowing the track. And I've seen enough Terminator movies to know to steer clear of them, but they never did turn against us, and they still are working in our favor. And they did, really just did a beautiful job. You can see it on the live stream. It's gorgeous. There was one section of track that Pierre changed in August, where he wanted to swing them into the crab water in a little different direction. And every overhead shot that I'm watching in the control tent, I'm like, there's the beautiful galloping lane to the left, Pierre. Like, that one little stretch, we missed it. It's right there. But the shots of the horses galloping between the first water and the arena, like the way that they can move is like nowhere else. And that's why, like, they don't have trouble making the time here, because they can move on this track like nowhere else. They really do. Those horses that went the straight way, they were all inside the time. And that's really just a testament to the ground, the going, the layout of the track. Like, Ian just put this cross-country course. He laid it out correctly for the property. It's not an easy property to design on by any means, but it's in the right place, and it's in a place where you can put big jumps out there because the horses can really move up to them. So, yeah, it's pretty. The turf here is something that we're all really proud of, and the whole community should be proud of it. A lot, this is a state park, and this entire community here around Cecil County, they've really created a gem and something that the community is really proud of. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely well said, all of that.
Yeah.
So sort of one question I have, just which is very superficial, is when you get told what jumps are going where, and I know you get told, like, okay, this is a corner, this is an owl hole corner, this is a brush, this is whatever, but how much freedom do you have with the artistry side of it? So, like, I'm thinking of Ian's dog, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, did you come up with that idea? Did somebody tell you to build that? Like, what's the story there?
Yeah, Bob and Kay Wilmarth, they ran an event in Michigan called Richland Park for years and years. And now Bob and Kay still travel around to both Kentucky and here to Maryland and do all of the stringing. They do at both venues. Bob comes out for pre-visits with the course designers, figure out where the lanes are going, where the lines are into the jumps. And then both he and Kay come out for 2 weeks surrounding the event and set up the strings, set up the galloping lanes. So in conversation with Bob and Kay, we knew Ian was retiring. We tried desperately to talk him out of it. He wasn't having it. But Bob and Kay, they showed me this picture of the Scotty dog that they had at Richland Park. And so, yeah, it's like I just built it. I didn't tell Ian I was building it. I was hoping he would use it as a last fence. But so he showed up, and that was a complete surprise. Like, hey, I was going to get Bob and Kay's. They still have the Scotty dog, but we were too afraid to make him travel. So I made one just for Scotty. So yeah, there's some leniency there, but I was curious whether or not I was a little afraid that he would say, we can't use this thing. What were you thinking? But he loved it. So that was good.
No, it's awesome. And I like it had something different on the collar this year, right?
Yeah. But yeah, one of the longtime volunteers that have come all the way back from the Fairhill International Days, Fran Loftus, she hand painted a cool collar for him and a tag, and she's the one that paints the crabs. She painted the fish. I think Fran is probably nearly 80 years old now, and she'll outwork any of us. And she's been around from the Mike Tucker days at Fairhill. She's got great stories. And yeah, it's a real. Although this event is only in its 5th year, there's a lot of holdover from Fairhill International, a lot of the same people, a lot of great stories from back then. And Fran's one of them. She does a lot of the painting and the detail work. So, yeah.
So you mentioned it, Tyson. You have crabs.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm happy to share them with the world as well.
so the Maryland crabs, got the crab water is what we're talking about, right? Okay. So was that your idea, or did somebody want you to do something? Like, how did that come about?
No, last year for Ian's retirement party, I dug up the old drawings that he had made in year 1, and there's some pretty fantastically horrible drawings of the crabs that he had made on the back of a sheet of paper. And also the owl holes, like you could barely interpret what they were. I put them up on a big projector at the party and said, "This is what I had to go off of, people." And it's okay. You see a duck; it's a big round body. It looks like something you could jump. You see a goose or something like that. You think, okay, that's a jumpable shape, a fish. But when he said, "Why don't we make these crabs?" I thought, I don't think this guy's ever seen a crab. Like, what part of that thing looks like a cross-country fence? How are we going to make this thing jumpable? And so there is a lot of that where, okay, we got to take his idea, and now we have to figure out how to make this thing a shape that the horses are going to understand perfectly. And that's really the trick. Like, it's one thing to be creative, and I've been guilty of it plenty of times where you let that aspect take over and you neglect the readability for the horses. And that's a mistake that you only want to make one time. And then that's always the first thing in the front of your mind now is like, let's make sure that, okay, this is this is something fun for people to see, but do the horses understand exactly what we're asking them? Have we overlooked something in trying to be a little too creative? So yeah, there's creativity for creative sake, but you really have to make sure priority number one is that the horses understand what you're asking them to do. And yeah, the crab was a little bit of a challenge, but it works. We make it a big roll top. It looks more like a cross country jump. This year the new crab, we turned him around so that his back was facing the horses, and then it gets a little bit easier. Now you can make that profile really look nice and friendly for the horses, and you still get this nice big smiling crab for the spectators and for the photographs. So that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it. Absolutely. Because it is a weird looking thing to ride up to, and the horses all seem to jump it great.
Yeah. And that's where you want to lean on the Pierres and the Ians and people that way. Like, hey, they have the experience, they know. And that's when I'm really happy to not be the course designer is,
Sure.
Some of those guys, they know, and they think like a horse. There's stuff that I've built for both these guys where I don't think this is possible, and then the horses just understand it instinctively. So just like Ian and Pierre have a real horse sense to them.
So speaking of Pierre, this was his first year. So what was that? How do you say his last name?
Pierre Le Goupil.
Le Goupil. I should know
It's easy
that.
to remember because I've nicknamed him the real deal Le Goupil.
Oh, okay. That's super helpful. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm trying to get it to stick.
The real deal Goupil. Got it.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's he like to work with? I don't know him well.
Polar opposite of Ian Stark. Ian, I don't even know how to describe that, but like Ian and I we did a lot of events together, Carolina, Lochmoy Farm, and here at Maryland. We'd worked together for years and years, and we really understood exactly what each other were after. And so I was nervous to work with anybody but Ian at these higher level events. I get really nervous. A lot of the course designers, Pierre definitely does not. Like, that dude has ice water in his veins. He was really like, at one point, like, I have to get away from you, Tyson. You're making me nervous. He's very cool in those respects, but he's very artistic. He's very ethereal. He's in his head. Ian is very practical. Do this, put this here. Don't ask me any more questions. That's the end of it. You figure out how to do it. But everything with Pierre is a conversation. It's constantly evolving. He loves input from everyone, from the riders, from the ground jury, from the TDs. It really is a discussion and an evolving process with Pierre, and not many course designers are that way. They want to do it their way, and sort of block out the noise that's around them, and feel free to be made their decisions. But it seems like Pierre really does appreciate the group think and input from everyone, from me to the officials and everything else. And he provides very detailed drawings for the new fences. He did them all on SketchUp program. You can get he'll send me 3-dimensional drawings of everything that were done on a computer. We had these very interesting looking fences at the Coffin that in describing them, I couldn't even really wrap my head around how we were going to build these ditches on a slope and the way that they were cantilevered out. And so by working on site and through SketchUp, he really was able to come up with a design that I said, okay, I got it. Now I see what you want. And then when it came time to install them, we were all going in the same direction. So, but yeah, we really had a great time. His English is I mean, it's a lot better than my French. Luckily, like I said, I have Levy Riekewater, who's my building partner. He's from Belgium, so he speaks French. So whenever anything got too difficult, they could sort it out in French. But
right.
Yeah, we really had a good time. It's a complete fresh face on a U.S. course. We don't, he doesn't design anything else in the United States, and I think that's a real attribute for something like this. He's done a great job. He's Pan American Games, European Championships, and the Olympics, and now he's got a 5-star. He's really he's doing it. He's a great guy.
He's the new hot shot at the top for sure.
Yeah. No, it was very good. I think the product came out real. We were all real pleased in the end. So
yeah, you should have been. I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. In the beginning, I was I don't think this is going to be jumpable. I don't think anybody's going to get home. And then it started to get figured out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh man, after we only finished 8 last year, and I thought we just can't do that again, and but then I thought, okay, and I kept telling people all year long, oh yeah, Pierre's gonna round off the edges. It'll be a lot simpler. We won't do that. And then he really did not. He didn't back off. No. It was true 5-star. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you jumped around this thing, he really did carry on Ian's legacy of putting up a real true 5-star track. And I think that's kind of cool that
It is cool.
you know, that we had a really successful day. We had we had a small, but it was a pretty mighty field, and it was cool to watch some of these guys get around this thing and figure out some of the questions that he was asking. It was interesting and fun to see people using the alternative routes rather than go the direct route early in the day. Usually you see them used only as an escape route in a lot of situations. Yep. And here people decided, you know, there was a lot the riders had to think to get their way around this course. And that was interesting.
Well, and to that point, I'm curious what your thoughts were on the arena, because you guys put those owl holes in there. It was a tricky line to go the straight route. And when I was watching on TV, I wasn't there in person, so I didn't get to walk it. But when I watched these people going, the riders that would go jump the first corner to the vertical and then go long option for the third fence, it almost seemed like a bit of a cheat code. I was like, well, that actually is almost as fast, if not as fast as the straight route. Why would you jump the next corner? Were you surprised at how quick that was? Or did you know, like, okay, actually might be the way people go to start?
Yeah, that was surprising to me anyway, that I thought, oh yeah, there you go. There's a pretty viable alternative there. You can get out of there pretty quickly. And on a thoroughbred, or your like I said, this track is fast. You could take an alternative route and still get pretty darn close to the time, if you're willing to risk it. But it was slow enough that it made people think. And also it turned out that the direct route was achievable. It was a line that you could ride. It was a very tricky line to walk. Even when we said it, I said to Pierre, like, I just don't see it. And he had to do one of those things where, here, you stand in front of me and I'll show you where the line is. And then, it'll be the third time the riders walk around before they see it and realize, okay, this is doable. And also those owl hole corners, that's not something like we invented that here with Ian. I had never seen that before. I told Ian when we built the first ones, like, I don't think horses can jump it. I don't know, like, can they do this? Can they jump a corner that's an owl hole? And the first generation were a little bit different. We used them differently. And then I think this second generation, we have a lot more flexibility in them. They were a lot more open. I feel like they were very, very readable for the horses. The horses understood the assignment there. They didn't seem confused or off their line in any way. So yeah, it really did work out. And that's like trusting in your course designer and in the whole process and the whole team. That alternative route was in discussion right up until the morning of the course walk. So those alternative routes really were developed with the entire team. From Ian over, he was here in an advisory capacity, the technical delegates and the ground jury. That was something that Pierre wanted to discuss with them, and hey, let's come up with a solution that we're all happy with. And I think in the end, they nailed it. And I think that's a great example of this is teamwork really working. So that was great.
Yeah, well, and it seemed like something that the riders were pretty concerned about and probably walked the heck out of. And I think as a designer, it seems like they want that, where you're going to give something where the riders are going to kind of scratch their heads and think, I don't even think it's doable. A little bit of I guess that's not really a rider frightener, that combination, but it is a rider frightener in that they're concerned, am I going to have a run out? And made them all think really hard. And it seemed like the riders all really stepped up there and rode it pretty darn well.
Yeah, they really did. A lot of them stepped up to the plate. There were some really great rides to watch. Like, I stay in control during cross country, so I get to see most of the fences, on the screens. And there were some really impressive rounds. There were some real heartbreaking rounds. Like, Will Faudree was just going for it, like, perfect. I was rooting for him, man. He was so close to the end there, and then just had a silly mistake. And a great example of the frangible fences working. Like, there's there's wins and losses on both sides. Alex Bragg, like the stop at the step down. He was another one. I just watched his round again today. Like, he was so good. And sometimes it just, one little thing goes wrong at the 5-star level. The margin for error is zero. I mean, it is the highest level for a reason. You got to be firing on all cylinders in all capacities. Your whole plan has to come into effect. And I think that really showed off out there on Saturday.
Absolutely.
It was a good day.
Absolutely. It was. And now, look, this is an easy one for me to come up with, but I will say, like, my round of the day was Artist. That was incredible. That's the first one that I watched. I'm like, oh, this isn't that hard, actually. You just have to have that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the good horses made it look really easy,
Yeah.
And some people were unlucky. But it was, I think it does. Man, I wish we had 20 more horses. That would have been. I think it really would have showcased the course, to its full capacity with some more horses. But I think if we keep putting out a top tier product, then the people I think it's going to be a venue where people, they want to come here, and they they're going to want to test themselves against this course and show just how good their horses are. So I think that's the plan here anyway. This whole 5-star conversation is above my pay grade, but we're just going to keep putting out the best product that we possibly can, and hoping that people rise to the occasion and come out and support it.
Well, and I think to that point, and it's above my pay grade as well, but that never stops me from saying what I think. I think it's okay that you have that 5-star and you only have, 20, 25 competitors. I know financially, maybe that's not what the event wants, but it was an example of really good riding from top to bottom in that division. I thought, yes, not everybody had the day they wanted, but I didn't think there was anybody in that field that I saw going in that I was like, ooh, they maybe shouldn't be there. It seemed like everybody that went was ready for the challenge. And then, you see how things shake out on the day. But, the reality is, for somebody to come over from Europe, that's a $30,000 trip. So it's going to be, you're going to only get a handful of those guys. And then we're basically drawing on 2 countries for the rest of the entries between the US and Canada. And I think the guys in Europe at those events, they've got all the European countries want to send their horses and riders to those events. And so they have a much bigger pool to draw on as well. And obviously it's a little bit of a bigger, a fair bit of a bigger sport over there. But I think when you look at it, that we really have 2 main countries that we can draw on for competitors, and how expensive it is for the rest of the world to come here, it kind of makes sense that you're going to not have a 70 horse field. You're going to have a smaller field. And I think as long as that field is the quality that it has been for the last 5 years, I think that's okay, because it still was it was a great show to watch. I was watching it, funny enough, on my phone while watching my son do his jiu-jitsu tournament. And I was struggling because I'm I got to watch this. This is so good. Oh, wait, don't get choked out, buddy. And it's but it was so good to watch. The production that they did with USEF Network was incredible. Sinead and Frankie and the whole team there did a great job, and Annie was awesome. And I think that, and actually, who else? Austin O'Connor was in there. He did a great job too during the 5-star. It was great. So that whole team did such a good job producing the show on the live stream. It just, with the course you put out there and the production that they put together, it was a great show. And I think it's okay that I know Joni would be like, no, we need all the horses, and you do, but even at 20 some horses, I thought it was a great show to watch.
They're only in year 5. I think badminton is 78 years old or something like that, right? I mean, badminton is more than 75 years old. We have some catching up to do. There's kinks to work out for sure. But man, the community here has done a really great job. And also our friends over there at Lockmoy Farm, Carolyn McIntosh, she really started this grassroots program. The Maryland International Travel Grant Program is set up that people can donate money. You want to see more Europeans ride at Maryland? Donate to that program, and let's put some dollars in their pockets to get them over here. Not just Europeans, also West Coast riders, other people that are the traveling here. Traveling to get to a 5-star is expensive. So we now have this Maryland International Rider Travel Grant Program that's going to help get some people over here, give them a little financial assistance to bring some of the Europeans over here, so you can watch some of the Europeans come and compete here in Maryland. And so that is definitely something to check out. And I think as that program grows and develops, and we can finance some of these riders to come over, that's certainly going to help, because we're 5 entries away from having a big enough respectable field. It's not like we had 10 entries. We're not that far off of the mark. And I think this is, I think it's worthwhile for people to come over and come and check this thing out, because they're putting on something special over here. So
Tyson, as you know, our show is gigantic. We are just massive. Our reach.
I saw it's Joe Rogan and then John and Rick.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, exactly. It's sort of, it's back and forth between us and Joe.
Exactly.
We don't like to brag. Yeah. So we get a pretty big worldwide reach. So let's say somebody wants to donate to that fund. Do you know how? I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you know how they make a donation?
I know that it's the Maryland International Travel Grant Program. I'm sure you can just Google that, put that in your search as your search words there, and you'll find it. This was the first year that they instituted the program. I don't know how many riders benefited from it. I know that multiple riders did make use of the program. And again, it's not just for European riders. If you're a West Coast rider and you want to come over, look into that program, look into getting some financial aid to get here. It's only going to get bigger and better. If you're a contributor, if you're a fan of a European rider, get some money into that program and let's see your favorite riders come over and compete at Maryland. I think it's going to be the way to go.
That's very cool. All right. So last thing I want to know is Pierre was there. I'm assuming you at least started discussions about next year's competition.
We did.
So what's changing? Give us the inside scoop.
Yeah, that's a different. I think this is why I can't be a course designer, because I'm not afraid to tell anyone anything about the course.
I know. So I want the secrets.
Yeah, the course designers love being secretive. I like everyone to know what's going on so that they can do as good a job as they possibly can. No, but what we're discussing the most right now, I think, is the layout of the track. There's some discussion about starting in the arena, maybe, or starting closer to the arena, jumping a jump and then getting out of there. The arena does present some logistics. The organization feels like it's really important for us to utilize the arena in some capacity. There's a lot that goes into building out that arena, and that is the main focal point of the event. I get it. Like that could be it really becomes a feature, but it might benefit the layout of the track using the hills if we can start them there, and then we can finish. We can do a little bit more work in the Sawmill Field, give them a little bit more to do out beyond the crab water, and then finish in a similar location. Like, I really do like the finish too. You have this. I was just driving that path this afternoon. It's this really relaxing little path that goes through the woods to take you back to stabling. That's really nice. So there is some talk about how we utilize the arena. It presents, for me anyway, like I have to dedicate an entire crew when we have a big combination in there. You cannot get in and out of that arena easily. There's very few access points. So it becomes a real pinch point. And so I think if we can develop a track that is good, that starts in the arena, they jump one fence and get the heck out of there, that could be a real benefit. But again, it's real early discussions about that. He wants to do a little bit of a route around the big Fairhill drop. Maybe that could, figuring out a way to incorporate that earlier into the course, so that it's not just 3 from home stepping down a great big step. So he had to walk around on Sunday out on the cross country course, and then we're going to meet again in December or January and do our initial planning for the track next year, and we'll see. There could be a bit of a change there, but again, like, I don't know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. We've sort of developed a track that works pretty well, but we'll see. It's also like you need some different routes. Maybe one year you use the sunken road, maybe one year you don't. One year you start from the arena, one year you use the arena. Like, there's no reason that can't work, to have more than one viable route. But again, like, use the 90% of the current galloping lanes so that everybody is still using the best turf possible, because that's number one. At this level, at the 5-star level, putting the horses on the absolute best ground, that's what keeps them sound. That's what keeps them jumping safe at the end of the course. Like, that's the important thing. So changing the track is really a 3 or 4 year plan. So, but we'll see. That's
a juicy bit of info that you gave us. So thanks for that, man.
Yeah, man.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. It could
juicy.
The other thing that I've learned about Pierre is it could all change at a moment's notice. So he's
right.
He's not afraid to really change his plan. Even in our August layout, he said, we need a third element for the coffin. And I said, what? The third element for the coffin? I can't just, like, make a third element appear. What are you talking about? Oh, yes, I changed my mind last night. I didn't tell you. Like, okay, so he's not afraid to change his mind and really sort of think on his feet, or he finds a nicer little piece of ground, he'll use that. And it makes my job a little bit more difficult, but whatever it takes to produce a great course, we're up for it. So,
well, I will tell you, we all appreciate it. Like I sort of said earlier, when I know you're going to be there building, it makes me feel better. Like, I know this course is going to be presented well. I know when I know you and Levy are going to be there, boom, I know the course is going to be up to standard. It's going to be beautifully presented, and the horses are going to read those fences well. So thank you for that.
try.
I know you do it for the fame and for the fortune.
Yeah.
But even still, I just want to say thank you to you guys for doing it. It is a hard job that builders do. And I think this is one thing that I've learned, because I don't know if you know this, I have a bit of a reputation of being kind of a pain in the butt and complaining and kind of opinionated at events, starting arguments. And I do know that when I have an argument with the officials or the designers and want something to be tweaked or changed or whatever, and they, one time out of 100 relent and say, fine, John, we'll make the switch.
Yeah.
I am aware that makes you guys have to work harder, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I have found my years of experience is like, if they want something done, just do it.
Right.
It's way easier to just do it from the beginning than it is to try to put up some sort of philosophical fight about the whole thing. Let's just do it. At the end of the day, you have to constantly remind yourself that we all have the same goal, that we're all pulling in the same direction. We all have different techniques of getting there, whatever, but everybody wants the same thing. We want competitive cross-country courses that are safe for the riders, that are safe for the horses. We want happy horses at the end. We still want it to be a competition. So even just having said those handful of things, that's really difficult to achieve. But we're all trying to do the same thing out here. We all want this sport. We all want it to succeed, and we all love it. So we all got the same goals. I try to remind myself of that whenever I start to feel my blood pressure boiling.
Yeah,
we're all doing the same thing.
I know I've made it boil a few times, so I appreciate that. Kumbaya.
Exactly.
Peace and love. Thank you very much, Tyson. We're gonna let you go to wherever you need to go. Get ready for Virginia. Thank you so much for coming on. I know at the end of a long, hard day's work, the last thing you want to do is sit in your car and talk to me. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm a chatty Kathy. I'm always up for a conversation.
I know. That's why I wanted you on. Rick was like, are you sure you want to do it by yourself? I'm like, I don't feel like I'm going to have to say much with Tyson. It's fine. That's awesome. Thank you. You were a great guest. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week's show. Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. Horse Trailer Pros is amazing. If you're anywhere on the East Coast, anywhere in the world, really, you should bring your stuff to Horse Trailer Pros. But if you're anywhere on the East Coast and you have any kind of an issue with your trailers, check out Horse Trailer Pros. They are the best. So we will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.